For 2024, one of America's most affordable new vehicles gets a little more impressive. This is the 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage in the Black Edition trim. You can kind of see what the Black Edition trim means. Upgraded glossy rims, some red accent striping on the front here, along with a blacked out roof. This graphite gray is brand new for 2024. This and the jet black color have been added to the Mirage palette of exterior colors for this new model year. There are some other really impressive things that are new for this year as well, and I'll get into those later in the video. While some things get more impressive, some things remain the same. I'll break down the still lackluster engine and the inside materials later on in the video today. If you are new here to the channel, please hit this video with a big thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed to the channel here below, and also turn on notifications so you know whenever a new video is posted. And while you're at it, be sure to follow us here on Instagram as well. Overdrive Reviews, all the cool content over there happening for you. All right, enough talking from me. Let's hop into the exterior here of the 2024 Mirage G4. Okay, starting up front, I say this every time I review a Mirage ever since they redesigned these in 2021. I really enjoy the front of this car. It's nothing extremely sporty, but it's much more aesthetically pleasing than it used to be. On this specific Black Edition trim, you do have the red striping here in the grille, kind of like a razor type of look as well. Some chrome plastic pieces here, and some carbon fiber, fake carbon fiber inserts down here beneath the top part of the grille. You do not have fog lights built into this Black Edition trim, nor do you have LED lights at all. The only LED lights exist in the rear of this, and we'll show you those in a moment. There are no LED lights at the front of the Mirage, which I think is kind of a miss because almost every car nowadays has LEDs as an option. And up here, built into the windshield, is the front crash mitigation system. Every single Mirage, no matter what level or what trim you get, comes standard with that. Let's back off here to the side and talk about the side profile. Again, this Black Edition trim, which is the third highest trim, third most expensive trim here on the Mirage G4, that is what this trim is here. This is the graphite gray coloring, which is brand new for 2024. You do have your side turn signal indicators right there. They're not built in to the actual side mirror. They are blacked out, which is quite cool. Gives the car a continued sporty look here. Only about 15-inch wheels. These alloy wheels look nice on this kind of darked out package here. Much better than the basic hubcaps that the ES bottom trim come with, just like that. I don't like these at all, so I do appreciate that alloy rims are an option. There is obviously keyless entry, even though there is still an old-fashioned keyhole. 2024 Mirage G4 BE. BE is Black Edition, four-door sedan, graphite gray with the blacked out roof, as you can see right there. Much more sporty and much more, I think, pleasing to the eye than the Mirage used to be. And not a bad angle back here either. You do have a kind of a small body kit here compared to the base model. This Black Edition is definitely the sportiest of all the options. Let's go to the back here. You also have a nice built-in integrated rear spoiler here. I hate even saying spoiler on a car that costs $20,000, but here we are. Black Edition emblem in the back as well. An integrated rear backup camera, which is hidden nicely right underneath the emblem here for the Mitsubishi Mirage. You do have more of the plasticky feeling carbon fiber inserts. It actually looks a little more high-end than it feels once you're up close to it. The only LED lights, again, on the car, right here, that's it. The LED lights here, along with the LED third brake light built right into the rear windshield, or the rear glass panel rather. I do feel like this car is due for a full-on update sometime soon, but again, there's also rumors that the Mirage is going to be canceled, so who knows what Mitsubishi is going to do with it. So let's get into the engine here and talk about power and miles per gallon, and check out this monster 3-cylinder engine under the hood here of the Mirage. And as I mentioned at the top of the video, not a ton of power in the Mitsubishi Mirage. This has been the one constant, consistent thing, that the Mirage is severely underpowered. I understand and recognize that this car is not meant for speed, but neither is the Kia Rio or the Nissan Versa, and they both have over 100 horsepower standard in their engines compared to just the 78 horsepower available here in this Mirage G4. It is the same engine, by the way, that is in the hatchback. It is the same engine across both models, sedan sedan or hatchback. 78 horsepower, 74 pound-feet of torque, good for a 0 to 60 sprint in this particular model of about 12.1 or 2 seconds, depending on who is driving. So a double-digit sprint to 60 with double-digit horsepower and double-digit torque is not a combination for going anywhere quick. On the flip side of that, whenever you don't have a ton of power, you usually have pretty good gas mileage, and you would be guessing correctly if that was the case for this Mirage right here. High 30s, low 40s for your MPG, about 41 combined, which is really, really great, with gasoline being 350 plus for regular, 4 plus for premium. 39, 40, 41 miles per gallon is quite a great rating on a small car like this. Every single one of these Mirages, by the way, too, has a CVT, the continuously variable transmission option. That is the only available option, by the way, across all of the models. Merging is quite an issue because you do need to make sure you plan enough physical distance to allow yourself to gain enough speed. Even at low speeds, this thing whines and sounds like a lawnmower engine. So you need to keep in mind that despite once being up at speed, and yes, the car can keep up, getting up to speed can be quite a headache. And you do need to plan for how you merge and where you merge and how you're going to pass somebody, because the power is not always there. Let's talk cargo space. The only way to open up the trunk, by the way, other than through your key, is right here. You cannot pop it open with, your hand underneath the back right here, anything like that. You have to use the key right here in the keyhole, or use that little lever down by the footwell of the driver's seat. So back here, less than 13 cubic feet of space. Not a lot at all. The hatchback absolutely is the way to go if you want to have more cargo room for bags and hauling things of that nature. This back here, 12.8, 12.9 cubic feet, less than 13, not a lot at all. It's nicely lined with, cheap liner here. You do have a well with a spare tire, a temporary spare tire down here below, but nothing large back here is going to fit without quite a fight. The back here too, the actual backside of the trunk lid, not even covered or insulated or anything like that, just wires exposed all over the place. Mitsubishi obviously trying to keep costs down here. I've always thought that this should be covered with at least something, some kind of fabric or some sort of insulation to make this a little bit quieter and not seem so chintzy. It just looks kind of incomplete. Again, got to keep in mind, a bargain car, got to keep down those costs. The trade-off here with less cargo space is that you do have more rear leg room in the sedan. Here in the back seat of this G4, you do have 37.3 inches of rear leg room, which is more obviously than the hatchback, as I just said, and also more than the Kia Rio sedan version and the Nissan Versa. Both of those cars do a lot of things really well and do them better than the Mirage, but the Mirage actually has more rear leg room than either one of them. Now that's about where the back seat stops as far as winning compared to other models. The seats are okay, they're soft and cushiony, but you can see easily how they would wear over time and just become all crinkled up and really kind of not hold their shape or their color really. I do like the red inserts. Mitsubishi obviously putting some more thought into these Black Edition trim levels. You do have two small cup holders here in the center armrest. There also is a pass-through as well. This even feels extra cheap. It's just a piece of plastic. This pass-through is not keeping any sound or anything out at all, but you at least have a pass-through here. But that's about it. There is no center vent down here for any sort of air or heat. There's no rear charger for your phone. There's only one map little flap right here to put gloves or a map in or something. There's not one on the driver's side. You do have these faux carbon fiber inserts once again here. Decent headroom, it's okay. I would certainly be cramped back here for more than an hour or two. Legroom, again, decent. Mitsubishi here adding this red accent stitching and red inserts to the door to give it more of a sporty look here on the Black Edition trim. More again of this carbon fiber, fake carbon fiber inserts. Automatic driver window, no automatic passenger windows at all. You do have your button here for lock and unlock as well. A very shallow kind of storage container here in the door. Also in the door, one of 4 speakers in this system. Only a 4-speaker sound system that obviously doesn't sound all that great. You can upgrade to a Rockford Fosgate sound system though, if you so choose. This one does not have it. Let's turn the car on here and you can listen to what it sounds like whenever it starts up. Ready? Yeah, a little bit of a different sound compared to the average car, but again, a 3-cylinder engine. And by the way, the door here, let's do that sound one more time. A little tinny. Over here you would normally have the push button start if this was the SE trim. Only the SE, the top level trim, has the push button start. Here in the black edition you still have the traditional old-fashioned key and keyhole, which again, I would venture this is probably one of like what, 5 cars that still offers this at all. Here in the center you do have a standard 7-inch touchscreen. It is the same touchscreen across the entire Mitsubishi Mirage lineup. There is no other option. Relatively clear, relatively nice. As far as the quality of it and the overall colors of it is very easy to use. Home options for FM, AM radio, Bluetooth of course. There is Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Unfortunately it's not wireless. You do have to plug it into the only USB port in the car. It is right here. There's no USB-C, there is no other USB. It is just this one right here. And speaking of this area, if this was an SE, this is also where the heated seat buttons would be, right here in the front. The black edition does not have it. So at the beginning of the video I mentioned that a few things are new for 2024, and one of those things is right here next to my right arm. This armrest is new for 2024 on other trims other than just the top level trim. The LE trim and above now have the center armrest. It is very chintzy feeling, to be totally frank, and feels like if your arm weighs more than 7 pounds it might one day give out on you, but there are various levels of it. You can adjust it to your specific arm height and body height. Some other new things for 2024 include the color on the outside of this, as I mentioned before, the graphite gray, along with rain sensing windshield wipers on the Mirage. It's not something that you would expect a car of this price range to really have, but this does have it for 2024. Some other impressive things that this car already came with include the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, the front crash mitigation. It also has lane keep assist, and you can adjust all of that right over here by your left leg down in kind of the footwell area. You do have the lane keep assist warning right here, and also the front crash mitigation, how close you want the car to get before it warns you. So some really nice basic safety features. You also wouldn't expect to find automatic climate control, but you do have it here in the Mirage as well. Let's get up to the steering wheel here. It is a very basic Mitsubishi steering wheel, glossy black piano kind of trim down here at the bottom. Very fingerprint prone as well, but it actually feels pretty solid and pretty firm. It doesn't feel cheap like you might expect. The steering wheel, red stitching right here on this black edition trim, which is quite cool. A nice little touch. Mitsubishi trying really hard to really amp up the interior of this specific black edition trim. Your standard Bluetooth, hands-free phone and volume over here, along with your cruise control on this side. This steering wheel pretty much is the same in every single model. Nothing really changes as far as options. You don't get paddle shifters or anything like that. This steering wheel is pretty standard across the entire Mirage lineup. Let's talk about one of my favorite things to criticize in the Mirage is the speedometer and tachometer area. A, relatively small. B, it looks like it's from 2008. Now that it's 2023, 2024, it really looks old and outdated. Mitsubishi has not changed this in so long. It's completely frustrating. I feel like, you know, just some different fonts and some different color would really go a long way, but unfortunately Mitsubishi has decided to not do that. And up here on the dash, of course, filled with cheap plastic. This right here, especially once it gets into the sun, I feel like this over a few years, the airbag cover is gonna just like warp and bend and pop out of place. It already looks super obvious that it's right there. Down here, a pretty standard glove box as well. Relatively deep for a car of this size, a big old manual and everything in there. Very easy to operate. It does not lock, by the way, so the only way to make sure that it is locked is if you keep your car locked. Of course, the lock button's right there, very standard to use. No tweeters, again, only a 4-speaker sound system in this car. They would normally go right there in a normal car. Up top here, you do have your vanity mirrors. No lights at all. You just have the mirror, and you better hope there's enough light shining from somewhere. Your phone, The map lights up here, I don't know, but these feel relatively chintzy and small, and also they don't extend at all either. So you really don't have much use for these other than maybe sitting still and checking your face for something, but they're just way too small for what they are. And you only have one light up top here to share between the two front passengers. You really have to be careful of who you sit next to and who you travel with, because it is a tight fit if you're a larger person or a taller, wider person. These seats are not all that great as far as keeping someone of a larger body weight or body set in place. They're relatively chintzy and cheap and kind of feel thin. They're soft once you work the car in and get some use out of them. I would imagine these seats don't hold up all that nicely. I like the stitching here. Again, the red insert on this Black Edition trim. And although the front, a very basic, easy cockpit to master, to figure out and to drive with, the screen is in a nice place. You can see it relatively easily when you're trying to operate it. The bells and whistles on this, not all that extensive, but the basic safety features, the basic entertainment features are there. So we'll count that as a win. Let's get this thing out on the road and see what it does in everyday traffic and everyday driving. So the Mirage is super affordable, right? And there are 4 trim levels to choose from. You can choose from the base model ES, starts around $19,000, go up to the LE trim, which is about $19,550. Then you bump up to this model, the Black Edition trim, starts around $20,250, and then all the way up to the highly expensive SE trim for about $20,500. Now, like I said before, the SE does add heated seats, things like the push button start and keyless entry entirely. You can actually just push a little button on the side of the door on the SE trim. So there are some really nice options at various price levels. And you can hear right now, as I'm giving the car a little bit of gas, just how loud that engine is. I'm only going about 25-30 miles an hour, and when you hit it, it whines like it's struggling up a hill and towing a boat or something. It really has a noisy engine at all speeds, and it's just exasperated and really exaggerated at higher speeds. It's really kind of frustrating that Mitsubishi, after all these years and these complaints and different reviews, they've not really changed anything. It's still a whiny little machine. Let's also talk brakes on the Mirage. You do have rotors up front and drum brakes in the back. That is the same for the sedan as well as the hatchback. So again, some old-fashioned technology going on here to save on costs. They do grip, okay. There's not a ton of weight to stop. This car only weighs about 2,100 pounds, just over a ton. So there's not a ton of car to stop, but they are definitely squishy, and there's a little more travel in that brake pedal than there really should be for a car of this size. If you're going 70 and you got to stop kind of quick, you're really going to have to hit that brake pedal relatively hard to get this thing to stop where and when you want it. I've turned the air on, and just want to see what the engine does whenever I give it some gas with the air conditioning system on. Here we go. Man, this thing really talks back. Some sound deadening would go a long way. Maybe a different type of engine structure would go a long way. Mitsubishi does not seem concerned about that, but just be aware, a loud engine at all speeds. Let's get away from the engine and me complaining about the car, and let's talk about what I do like. The seats are cushiony. They are soft, and I wouldn't say they're supportive. They don't annoy me. I could see on longer trips they might get a little too chintzy and might need more support as far as, a lumbar support and things like that. There is no power option on the Mirage for seats. They are manual on both sides. Around a turn at kind of a higher speed, it's kind of a confident turn. There's no body roll there, going about 10-15 miles an hour. I could absolutely see a less than perfect road giving you some problems as far as tossing this car around, because it's just so small and doesn't have enough weight to really kind of keep itself in place. Steering wheel feels nice though. The car does go where you tell it to. A little bit of understeer, especially around some corners here, going about 40 miles an hour now. Another thing I've noticed too is that the steering wheel does not go back to center if you let go of it. Most cars, if you are around a turn and you can naturally let the car kind of find its way to straight again, the steering wheel stays turned. It stays cocked and does not kind of get back to a straight on, up and down position function like most cars do. And that's something I've noticed over the years of testing the Mirage. They've just not fixed it. But for 20,000 bucks, still a nice package overall. You gotta remember, you're getting high 30s miles per gallon, low 40s on the highway. An impressive suite of technology, a lot of nice safety features as well. And on top of that great, basic technology and basic safety features, you do have a pretty nice warranty program as well. 5 years, 60,000 mile, limited warranty, and then you have the 100,000 mile 10-year powertrain warranties. And also new for 2024, Mitsubishi has added complimentary maintenance. It is covered for 2 years or 30,000 miles. So that's also a nice perk. The car is affordable to begin with, but on top of that, Mitsubishi is throwing in some standard maintenance. That's pretty cool. And with just me in the car and the AC on, you can absolutely tell that the car is driving a little bit different than when the AC is off. So I can only imagine if you've got luggage in this car and you've got people in this car and some other weight, it is definitely going to be a more difficult thing to get up and moving. I will say having the center armrest though right here for my right arm has been quite a pleasure to have. Before, when there's absolutely zero center console or anything to put your arm on, really sucked. This car is not for you if you like the finer things in life, if you like the amenities and all the features and things. This is just not the vehicle for you. If you want low maintenance, low headache, low insurance, low monthly payments, low fuel costs, for you, it's definitely a great option. Well, that is it today for this review of this 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage G4. Will Mitsubishi keep this vehicle around? It is super popular. I don't know. I appreciate you watching today. Be sure you're subscribed to the channel below by clicking the big subscribe button, and also turn on notifications to make sure you know whenever we put up a new video and you get that alert. And also please follow us over on Instagram at Overdrive Reviews. I appreciate all the support so far. It's been great, all these videos lately and interacting with you all. That is it for now. We'll catch you on the next one.